The next morning, the aurora floated quietly beside the pyramid. The sunlight reflected on the smooth surface, making it shine like a jewel in the water. Nilo and Myra prepared to explore again, excitement in their hearts. The world outside had started noticing the pyramid. Satellites captured its image, and scientists from across the globe speculated about its origins. But the team on the Aurora knew that being there, up close, was unlike anything anyone else could imagine. "Are you ready?" Myra asked Nilo, her eyes bright with curiosity. "As ready as I will ever be," Nilo replied. "Let's see what the pyramid wants to show us today." The team climbed the ramp and stepped into the pyramid. It was quiet, almost too quiet. The soft hum they had felt before was now stronger, pulsing in a slow rhythm that felt like a heartbeat. The walls glowed faintly, lighting the corridors in colors that shifted from soft blue to pale gold. "This place feels alive," Nilo said. "Every time we return, it is different, yet the same." Myra studied the glowing symbols along the walls. "They are changing," she said. "Last time, the patterns were simple. Now they are moving, as if they are telling a story." The team moved carefully through the chambers. Some rooms had devices that projected holographic shapes into the air, while others had geometric carvings that pulsed with light. The pyramid seemed to respond to their presence, guiding them deeper into its heart. When they reached the central chamber, the room began to change. A soft vibration grew stronger, and light spread from the walls, forming a large pattern in the center of the floor. The team stepped back, awed by the sight. The pattern slowly rose, transforming into a three-dimensional projection of stars and planets. Nilo leaned forward, studying the shapes. "It is a map of the universe," he said. "Not just our solar system, but entire galaxies. Look at this. These are worlds we have never seen before." Myra pointed to glowing points scattered across the projection. "Some of these are marked. Maybe they are inhabited. Maybe they are important for some reason. The pyramid is showing us knowledge beyond human imagination." Suddenly, a part of the projection shifted. Lines connected the stars and planets, forming a complex network. The shapes moved in patterns that seemed deliberate, like a code. Nilo reached out, and the pyramid reacted. The lines glowed brighter, connecting more points in the map. "It responds to us," Myra said softly. "It is teaching us, but also testing us. We have to be careful, but also observant." As they studied the projection, a soft sound filled the chamber. It was low and rhythmic, almost like music, but without melody. Nilo realized the sound matched the pulsing of the pyramid itself. "It is communicating," he said. "Not with words, but with patterns, vibrations, and light. It wants us to understand something." Myra touched one of the symbols on the wall. It glowed brightly, and another projection appeared, this time showing shapes that resembled creatures, machines, and civilizations. Nilo saw structures that floated above planets, enormous ships moving between stars, and cities built on worlds he had never imagined. "These are the builders," Myra whispered. "The ones who made this pyramid. They were not like us, but they wanted to leave knowledge behind. They wanted someone to find it and learn." The team spent hours exploring the central chamber. Every symbol, every device, seemed to have a purpose. Some recorded their movements, some reacted to their touch, and some projected knowledge into the air. The pyramid was not just a building, it was a library, a teacher, and a guide. As the day passed, Nilo noticed a small pedestal near the edge of the room. It was simple, unlike the other devices, but it had a soft glow. When he placed his hand on it, the pyramid responded more strongly than before. Light filled the chamber, and a projection of a distant galaxy appeared. Lines connected planets and stars in ways that suggested movement, travel, and connection. "It is showing us possibilities," Nilo said. "Travel, communication, perhaps even exploration of these worlds. The pyramid is more than a structure. It is a guide for the future. Myra studied the symbols that appeared around the projection. There is a pattern here. It is not just random. The builders wanted to teach us, but only if we pay attention. Only if we are careful, curious, and wise. As the sun began to set outside, the pyramid's light grew softer. The projections faded slowly, and the hum decreased, leaving a quiet, peaceful atmosphere. The team felt a mix of awe and exhaustion. They had seen things beyond human understanding, but they knew the pyramid held far more secrets. Rami spoke over the radio. Time to return to the ship. We need to document everything and plan for tomorrow. This is only the beginning. The team left the central chamber, careful not to touch anything more than necessary. Outside, the pyramid reflected the orange and pink hues of the setting sun, standing as a silent guardian over the sea. Nilo looked at Myra. I feel like we have unlocked only a small part of its wisdom, he said. There is more. Much more. And we need to understand it before the world outside rushes in. Myra nodded. It is not just a discovery. It is a responsibility. We have to be careful, patient, and smart. The pyramid is testing us, and we have to prove that humanity is ready. That night, on the deck of the Aurora, Nilo stared at the glowing pyramid. Its soft light shimmered across the waves, almost like a heartbeat in the dark. He thought about the stars, the unknown worlds, and the civilizations the pyramid had shown them. For the first time, he realized how small humanity was, but also how much potential they had. Myra joined him quietly. Do you think we are ready for what it will teach us? She asked. Nilo smiled, though his mind was full of questions. We have to be. This pyramid is not just stone and light. It is knowledge. And knowledge can change everything. If we are careful, curious, and brave, we can rise to the challenge. The pyramid shimmered softly, patient and eternal, as if it understood their thoughts. It had awakened, and in doing so, it had awakened something in humanity as well. The journey was far from over, and the world beyond the sea would soon know that something remarkable had risen from the depths. Nilo felt a surge of hope. Humanity had been tested already, but this was only the first step. The pyramid had awakened, and it had chosen to share its secrets with those who would listen, learn, and rise to the stars. The morning sun sparkled on the waves as the Aurora floated beside the pyramid. Nilo and Myra were ready to continue their exploration. The previous day's discoveries had left them both excited and thoughtful. The pyramid was more than stone and light, it was alive in a way they could barely understand. Do you feel it? Nilo asked Myra as they climbed the ramp. The vibration in the air? It is stronger today. Myra nodded. Yes. The pyramid is reacting to us more clearly. It is as if it is expecting something, or someone. The team entered the central chamber carefully. The walls glowed softly, guiding them deeper into the pyramid. Nilo noticed that some symbols now pulsed in patterns they had not seen before. Myra leaned closer to study them. These are instructions, she said. Or warnings. The patterns are different, but they respond to movement and touch. Someone built this for others to understand, but only if they were careful. As they explored, strange things began to happen. A light device they had examined yesterday moved slightly, as if it had shifted on its own. A soft hum sounded in the hallways, louder than usual, and shadows seemed to flicker in the corners. Nilo felt a chill run down his spine. Did you see that? He whispered. Myra nodded. I think we are not alone in here. Not in the way we expected, but someone or something is observing us. Rami's voice came over the radio. Stay calm. Document everything. Do not touch anything new unless necessary. The team moved forward, documenting the new patterns and symbols. They discovered a chamber with a large device at its center. It was smooth, glowing softly, and covered in unfamiliar symbols. When Myra approached, the device activated, projecting a map of the surrounding ocean and the pyramid's position. Lines appeared, tracing paths over the water, and faint pulses moved along the lines. "What is it showing?" Nilo asked, leaning closer. Myra studied it carefully. "It is like a radar, but not for ships or planes. It detects life forms, or intelligence. Look at the patterns they move, but not randomly. Something is out there, watching us." Nilo's eyes widened. "Do you mean other beings are nearby?" "Yes," Myra said quietly. "Not inside the pyramid, but outside. Maybe hidden in the ocean or observing from above. The pyramid can sense them, and it is alerting us." The team paused, aware of the strange presence. For hours, they explored cautiously, documenting every detail. The pyramid seemed to guide them, its light patterns leading the way, but the sense of being observed grew stronger. Suddenly, a soft vibration shook the floor. The team froze. A new projection appeared, showing strange shapes moving outside the pyramid. They were unlike any human or animal form. Nilo could not identify them, but they were intelligent, moving with purpose. "They are real," Myra whispered. "The pyramid is warning us. We are being watched by something advanced." The team retreated slightly, observing the projections. The shapes seemed curious, not hostile, but the presence was undeniable. Nilo realized that humanity's first discovery of this pyramid was also its first contact with something unknown. Rami spoke firmly. "Stay focused. We document, we observe, we do not engage. We do not know what we are dealing with." Hours passed as the team continued to explore. The pyramid symbols grew more complex, reacting to both movement and thought. Nilo and Myra discovered a device that produced a low hum when approached, almost like it was measuring their minds or intentions. "This pyramid is more than a building," Myra said. "It is a test. Not just of knowledge, but of character. The beings outside are waiting to see what humans will do." Nilo nodded slowly. "We are being watched, tested, and guided all at the same time. The pyramid is a bridge between us and something greater." As the sun began to set, the pyramid pulsed with light, sending signals out over the ocean. The shapes outside seemed to respond, moving in patterns that mirrored the pyramid's glow. Nilo realized that the pyramid was communicating with them and with the unseen observers at the same time. "This is incredible," he said. "The pyramid connects us to intelligence beyond Earth. We are part of something much larger." Myra studied the symbols one last time. "But we must be careful. The pyramid tests patience, wisdom, and cooperation. Any wrong move could prevent us from learning its secrets." The team left the central chamber as evening approached. The pyramid glowed softly in the fading sunlight, standing silent yet full of life. Outside, the ocean was calm, but Nilo could not shake the feeling that unseen eyes were still observing, still learning about humanity. On the deck of the Aurora, Nilo and Myra reflected on what they had discovered. "Do you think they will reveal themselves?" Nilo asked. Myra shook her head. "Not yet. The pyramid is a teacher. The observers are part of the test. They want to see if humans are curious, careful, and cooperative. That is what matters most." Nilo looked at the glowing pyramid. "It is teaching us, yes, but it is also preparing us. Preparing humanity for something bigger than we have imagined." Night fell, and the pyramid shimmered softly against the dark sky. Nilo felt a mixture of fear, awe, and hope. Humanity had discovered something greater than itself, something that could change the course of history. But the test was only beginning. Myra joined him quietly. "We have to be ready for anything," she said. "The pyramid will show us more, and the observers will watch. We cannot fail." Nilo nodded. "We will not fail. We are learning. We are watching, listening, and understanding. And one day, we will rise to meet the challenge. The pyramid glowed faintly as the moon reflected on the ocean. Its soft light shimmered over the waves, like a promise and a warning at the same time. Humanity had discovered the unknown, and the unknown was now watching them. The night passed quietly, but the team could feel the presence of the unseen visitors. The pyramid had awakened fully, and the connection between humans and something greater had begun. Nilo felt a surge of determination. Humanity had been tested before, but this was the greatest test yet. The future was uncertain, but full of possibilities, and the pyramid was the key to reaching them. Myra touched Nilo's shoulder. Tomorrow, we continue. We learn. We observe. And we prove that humans are ready for what comes next. Nilo smiled, though his mind was full of questions. Yes. Tomorrow, we take another step. The pyramid is not just a discovery. It is a path. And we are walking it. The pyramid remained, glowing softly under the stars, patient, eternal, and full of secrets waiting to be understood. The unseen visitors were watching, and humanity's journey into the unknown had only just begun. The aurora floated steadily beside the pyramid as the first light of dawn spread across the ocean. Nilo and Myra prepared for another day of exploration. Each day inside the pyramid brought new discoveries, but today felt different. There was a sense of urgency, as if the pyramid was urging them to take the next step. Do you feel that? Nilo asked, gripping the railing of the small boat. It is stronger today. Like it wants something from us. Myra nodded. Yes. I think it is testing more than just curiosity now. It wants to see if humans can learn, work together, and understand its technology. The team stepped onto the ramp and entered the pyramid. The walls glowed softly, guiding them deeper into the structure. Every room they passed seemed alive with energy, symbols shifting, devices reacting, and light flowing in patterns that drew the team forward. In the central chamber, a new projection appeared. It showed a network of platforms, floating above the pyramid, connected by beams of light. Nilo realized that the pyramid was revealing a system of energy, something powerful and controlled, but unfamiliar to humans. What is this? He asked, staring at the projection. It looks like a machine, or a network. But it is huge, bigger than anything we have built. Myra studied the symbols around the projection. I think it is a map of energy and motion. The pyramid can control forces we do not understand yet. If we learn how to use it, we can harness energy in ways that could change everything. The team moved carefully, examining the devices and symbols that seemed to react to their presence. One device, a small cube with glowing lines, lit up as Nilo approached. When he touched it, a holographic display of the pyramid itself appeared, showing platforms rising above the water, floating steadily as if weightless. This is incredible, Nilo said. It is teaching us how to stabilize these platforms. If we succeed, humanity could control energy on a scale we have never imagined. Myra's eyes widened. But it is not simple. The pyramid responds only to precise actions. Any mistake could cause the system to fail. This is a challenge, and the pyramid is testing us to see if we are capable. The team spent hours experimenting carefully. They observed the devices, touched the symbols, and learned how the pyramid responded. Slowly, they managed to activate a small platform above the pyramid. It hovered steadily, glowing softly, suspended by forces they could barely understand. Nilo and Myra watched in awe. We did it, Nilo said. We activated it. The pyramid trusts us with its knowledge. But it is only the beginning, Myra said. The system is vast, and we have only controlled a small part. The pyramid will push us further, and we must be ready. As the day passed, the team faced difficulties. Some devices failed to respond, and some symbols shifted in ways they did not understand. The pyramid seemed to be testing their patience, precision, and teamwork. They had to work together, communicate carefully, and observe every detail. Nilo noticed that the shapes outside the pyramid, the unseen observers, reacted to their actions. When the team succeeded, the shapes moved closer, circling in patterns that mirrored the pyramid's light. When they failed, the shapes paused, watching silently. The observers are learning too, Nilo said. They are testing us, and we are proving ourselves at the same time. Myra studied the projection of the network again. The pyramid is teaching us more than energy control. It is teaching us cooperation. If we work together, we can succeed. If we fail, we may never understand its full power. Hours turned into evening, and the team finally managed to stabilize a second platform. It hovered above the first, glowing softly, and the pyramid pulsed with approval. The symbols on the walls shifted to a new pattern, brighter and more complex than before. "This is amazing," Myra said. "The pyramid is responding to our progress. It is giving us more knowledge because we proved that we can learn, adapt, and cooperate." Nilo smiled. "We are not just discovering the pyramid. We are growing as humans. It is showing us what we are capable of if we work together." Rami called the team back to the Aurora. "Document everything. We will analyze it tonight. Humanity has a challenge, and we are facing it step by step." As the team returned to the ship, the pyramid glowed softly against the darkening sky. The floating platforms hovered steadily above it, proof that humans had begun to master its power. Outside, the unseen visitors circled the pyramid, silent and watchful, observing the team's every action. On the deck of the Aurora, Nilo and Myra reflected on the day's discoveries. "The pyramid is teaching us technology, but also responsibility," Myra said. "It is testing us to see if we are ready to use this knowledge wisely." Nilo nodded. "It is more than a challenge. It is an opportunity. If humanity can learn from this, we can achieve things we never dreamed possible." Myra looked at the glowing pyramid. "But we must be careful. The observers are watching, and the pyramid will only give us more if we show that we are worthy. We must prove that humans can rise to the challenge." Nilo felt a surge of determination. "We will. We have already taken the first steps. Tomorrow, we will go further. We will learn more, and we will continue to show that humanity can rise to greatness." The pyramid pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat, as the night fell. Its light shimmered across the ocean, reflecting on the waves like a guide for the future. Nilo and Myra watched in silence, feeling the weight of the knowledge they had gained and the responsibility that came with it. Humanity had taken its first step toward understanding the pyramid's power. The challenge was immense, but the potential was greater. Nilo knew that the journey would not be easy, but he also knew that humans had the courage, curiosity, and wisdom to meet it. Myra placed a hand on Nilo's shoulder. "Tomorrow, we learn more. We explore further. And we prove that humans can rise to the challenge of the pyramid." Nilo smiled, looking at the glowing platforms above the pyramid. "Yes. We are ready. The pyramid has chosen us to learn, and we will not fail. Humanity will rise, and we will meet the future with courage and knowledge." The pyramid stood silently, glowing against the night sky, patient, eternal, and full of secrets. The observers circled above, watching carefully, and the journey of humanity had taken a new and remarkable turn. The challenge was only beginning, and the world beyond the sea would soon see what humans were capable of when they faced the unknown. The sun rose slowly over the horizon, painting the ocean with shades of gold and pink. The Aurora floated quietly beside the pyramid, and the crew prepared for another day inside the mysterious structure. Nilo and Myra felt a sense of anticipation. The pyramid had given them knowledge, but now it seemed to demand more. "Do you feel it?" Nilo asked Myra as they climbed the ramp. The pyramid is alive today. Its energy is stronger, more focused. Myra nodded. It is preparing a test. I can feel it in the vibrations and the light patterns. We must be ready. The team entered the central chamber. The walls glowed softly, lighting the room with colors that shifted slowly. On the floor, a new projection appeared. It was unlike anything they had seen before. Stars, planets, and glowing lines formed a vast network, connecting worlds across galaxies. But this time, there were more shapes, more movement, and a rhythm to the projection that felt almost like a challenge. It is showing us civilizations, Myra said. Some are thriving, some are failing. It is a lesson. The pyramid wants us to understand what makes a civilization strong or weak. Nilo stepped closer to the projection. Lines connected planets and stars in complex patterns. Look at this. The pyramid is teaching us that strength is not about power alone. It is about wisdom, cooperation, and knowledge. Myra touched one of the symbols on the wall. It glowed brightly and projected a sequence of events. Nilo saw worlds growing, civilizations learning, building, and exploring. Other worlds fell into chaos, their societies collapsing due to greed, fear, or conflict. It is a test, Myra whispered. The pyramid is showing us what humans must learn if we are to survive and thrive. It is asking if we can be wise enough to rise above our instincts and work together. The team moved carefully through the chamber. The symbols and projections reacted to their actions, shifting and changing as if observing their understanding. Nilo realized that the pyramid was not only teaching but also measuring their responses. Every step, every observation, was part of the test. Hours passed as the team worked. They studied the projections, touched symbols, and interpreted patterns. Sometimes the pyramid responded positively, light pulsing warmly, symbols stabilizing and forming coherent patterns. Other times, the light dimmed, symbols flickered, and the projection seemed confused. We have to think carefully, Myra said. Every action matters. This is not just about learning technology. It is about learning judgment, cooperation, and patience. Nilo nodded. The pyramid wants to know if humanity is ready. It is testing our minds and our character. We cannot fail. Suddenly, a new projection appeared. It showed Earth and the pyramid floating above the ocean. Lines extended from the pyramid across the planet, connecting cities, people, and institutions. The pyramid seemed to ask a question: could humans work together as one species to achieve a greater purpose? Myra studied the image carefully. It is asking if we can rise above conflict. If we can cooperate across nations, cultures, and ideas. That is the ultimate test. Not just knowledge, but unity. Nilo felt a thrill of understanding. The pyramid is not giving us answers. It is asking us to choose wisely, to demonstrate that humanity can be responsible. We are part of the test too. The team continued to interact with the projections. They discussed strategies, shared insights, and coordinated their actions. Slowly, the projections stabilized, showing positive outcomes. Civilizations prospered, planets thrived, and the connections between worlds formed a harmonious pattern. The pyramid pulsed brightly, filling the chamber with soft light. Nilo felt a deep sense of accomplishment. We did it, he said softly. The pyramid sees that humans can learn, cooperate, and understand the consequences of our choices. Myra smiled. It is more than a challenge. It is a lesson. The pyramid wants to show us what we can become if we work together. Wisdom, patience, and cooperation are the keys. As the day passed, the team explored smaller chambers. They discovered new devices that responded to thought, touch, and movement. Each device tested a different skill: memory, problem solving, creativity, and judgment. The pyramid was teaching and testing at the same time, building knowledge and measuring the team's ability to learn. Outside, the unseen visitors moved slowly around the pyramid. Their presence was no longer threatening. They seemed to observe silently, watching the team's every action, learning along with the pyramid. Nilo realized that the test was not just for humans. It was a shared trial, connecting different forms of intelligence across the universe. By evening, the central chamber displayed a final projection. It showed a vast galaxy with countless civilizations, some thriving, some collapsing, and some just beginning. Lines of light connected worlds, forming a network of life, knowledge, and energy. The pyramid's message was clear: strength comes from wisdom, cooperation, and the responsible use of knowledge. Myra looked at Nilo. We have passed the test. The pyramid has seen that humans are capable of learning, growing, and working together. But this is only the beginning. We have much more to explore. Nilo felt a surge of hope. We have learned what the pyramid wanted us to know. We understand that knowledge alone is not enough. Humanity must rise to the challenge of wisdom and cooperation. Rami spoke over the radio. Document everything. This is a moment we must remember. Humanity has faced the pyramid's test and taken the first step toward understanding its purpose. As night fell, the pyramid glowed softly, its light reflecting on the calm ocean. Nilo and Myra stood on the deck of the Aurora, looking at the immense structure. They felt awe, gratitude, and determination. The pyramid had awakened something in humanity, showing that intelligence alone was not enough. We are ready for the next step, Myra said. The pyramid has tested us, and we have learned. Now we can explore further, understand more, and grow as a species. Nilo nodded. Yes. The pyramid is not just a discovery. It is a guide, a teacher, and a challenge. We have proven that humans can rise to meet it. The journey continues, and the future is full of possibilities. The pyramid pulsed softly, like a heartbeat, standing patient, eternal, and full of knowledge. The unseen visitors circled silently, observing and approving. Humanity had passed the test, and the path to understanding, exploration, and growth was open. Nilo and Myra knew that the world would never be the same again. As the night deepened, the ocean reflected the pyramid's glow. The stars above seemed to echo the lessons within. Humanity had faced the ultimate test of wisdom, cooperation, and responsibility. The pyramid had chosen to share its secrets, and the journey toward the stars had begun. Nilo placed a hand on Myra's shoulder. Tomorrow, we continue. There is still so much to learn, and the pyramid has much more to teach us. We must rise to meet every challenge. Myra smiled, feeling the weight of knowledge and the thrill of discovery. Yes. The pyramid has awakened, and so has humanity. We are ready for what comes next. The pyramid stood silent, glowing softly against the night sky, patient and eternal. The test was complete, but the journey had only just begun. Humanity had taken its first steps toward understanding the universe, guided by a structure that had risen from the sea. The morning sun rose over the ocean, painting the sky with golden light. The aurora floated beside the pyramid, now fully revealed in its massive glory. The water shimmered around it, and the soft hum of the structure pulsed steadily, as if it were alive. Nilo and Myra prepared for one final exploration, feeling both excitement and reverence. The pyramid has given us so much, Nilo said as he climbed the ramp. But I think today we will understand its greatest gift. Myra nodded. Yes. We have passed its tests. We have learned patience, cooperation, and wisdom. Now it will show us what it wants humanity to see. The team entered the central chamber. The walls glowed softly, illuminating every symbol, every device, and every corridor they had explored before. But now, the chamber seemed larger, more alive. Light flowed along the walls in patterns they had never seen, creating a sense of movement and life. In the center of the room, a massive projection appeared. It showed countless galaxies, stars, and planets. Lines of light connected worlds, forming a network of energy, knowledge, and life. Nilo noticed that some points on the projection glowed brighter than others, as if marking civilizations that had achieved balance and harmony. "This is the pyramid's message," Myra said softly. "It shows us the potential of intelligent life. Strength is measured not by power or technology, but by wisdom, cooperation, and responsibility." Nilo stepped closer to the projection. The pyramid reacted to his presence, and the lines of light moved to form a path from Earth to distant stars. "It is showing us how to reach the universe," he said. "Not just travel, but understanding, communication, and connection with other civilizations." Myra touched a symbol on the wall, and a new projection appeared. This time, it displayed knowledge of energy, mechanics, and navigation. Nilo realized that the pyramid was sharing its secrets, giving humanity the tools to explore, create, and grow. "We can use this knowledge," Myra said. "We can stabilize energy, build structures in space, and travel farther than we ever imagined. The pyramid has chosen to share this because we proved ourselves worthy." The team spent hours studying the projections, recording everything. The pyramid's devices responded to their touch, thought, and movement, guiding them step by step. Each discovery was more incredible than the last, and the team felt a deep sense of purpose. Outside, the unseen visitors circled the pyramid silently. They did not interfere, only observed. Nilo realized that they had been part of the test all along, watching humanity's ability to learn, cooperate, and grow. "The observers are approving of us," Nilo said. "They have seen that humans are ready to rise to the next level. We are part of something much bigger than ourselves." Myra smiled. "The pyramid has shown us what we can become. It is not just a structure or a machine. It is a teacher, a guide, and a promise of the future." As the sun reached its highest point, the pyramid began to emit a soft, steady pulse of light that spread across the ocean. The floating platforms above it stabilized, forming a radiant network of energy. Nilo and Myra watched in awe as the pyramid's power became fully visible, a gift to humanity and a sign of the possibilities ahead. "This is more than knowledge," Myra said. "It is hope. It is a path for humanity to follow. If we are careful, wise, and cooperative, we can achieve greatness." Nilo nodded. "The pyramid has awakened something in us. We have learned not just about energy, stars, or civilizations, but about ourselves. Humanity can rise to meet the universe if we choose to." The team returned to the Aurora, their minds full of new understanding. They looked back at the pyramid, which now glowed like a beacon over the ocean. Its hum was steady, its light soft and inviting. The world beyond the sea would soon know of its existence, but the team understood that the pyramid was not a tool to be controlled, it was a teacher to be respected. That evening, Nilo and Myra stood on the deck of the ship, watching the glowing structure. Ships and satellites around the world had begun to observe the pyramid, and humanity was awakening to its presence. Yet Nilo felt that the greatest discoveries were still ahead. "The pyramid has given us knowledge," Nilo said. "But it has also given us a choice. We can rise together, learn, explore, and become something greater. Or we can fail if we are careless. The future is in our hands." Myra looked at the soft light reflecting on the waves. "We have shown that humans can learn and grow. Tomorrow, the world will begin to see what is possible. The pyramid will guide us, but we must follow wisely." As night fell, the pyramid shimmered against the dark sky, a beacon of hope and knowledge. The stars above seemed to echo the lessons within, reminding Nilo and Myra that humanity's journey had only just begun. The floating platforms above the pyramid now glowed steadily, a visible sign of humanity's progress. The unseen visitors circled silently, watching the first steps of a species learning to rise above fear, greed, and doubt. Nilo felt a deep sense of purpose. Humanity had been tested, had learned, and was now ready for the next stage of exploration. Myra placed a hand on Nilo's shoulder. "We have done well. The pyramid has accepted us as learners, explorers, and caretakers. Now it is up to us to take what we have learned and build a future worthy of this gift." Nilo smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of discovery. Yes. The pyramid has risen from the sea, and humanity has risen to meet it. The journey to the stars, to understanding, and to greatness begins today. The pyramid pulsed softly, like a heartbeat, standing patient, eternal, and full of knowledge. Its light spread across the ocean, reaching the sky and reflecting on the waves. Nilo and Myra watched in silence, knowing that humanity had entered a new era. The pyramid had risen from the sea to teach, to test, and to guide. And humanity had answered its call. The world beyond the ocean would soon see the pyramid in all its glory. Nations would unite, inspired by its presence and its lessons. Humanity had been given knowledge, hope, and a path to greatness. The pyramid remained, a silent teacher, a monument to intelligence, patience, and cooperation. Nilo looked at Myra and whispered, "The universe is waiting. And now, humanity is ready." Myra nodded, smiling as the pyramid glowed softly under the stars. "Yes. The journey has only just begun. But we are ready to rise." The pyramid stood eternal, patient, and full of light. Humanity had passed its tests, learned its lessons, and taken the first steps into a new horizon. The sea was calm, the stars were bright, and the future was open. The pyramid that rose from the sea had given humanity a gift beyond measure, a chance to rise, to explore, and to become something greater than they had ever imagined.